Good morning, everybody. It's me, David Brown, with this week's Design and Dialogue. Hope everybody's having a great spring. Things are getting really warm here in Vegas, and we're ready for the sunshine to be sure. What I wanted to talk about today is something that a lot of our current clients are having conversations about, asking us about, and actually engaging the firm in, and that is contract employees. I've seen a marginal to large, increase in the usage of contract talent over the past 2 months. And I think that's because of a few reasons in the industry. I think that there is a lot of growth that is happening very quickly. I think that firms that are usually not seeing or encountering a lot of need for growth, i.e. maybe a smaller high-end residential firm or something along those lines, are starting to see a huge demand for their services and are having some challenges in finding the right long-term candidate to fill that need, and are coming to my firm and using contract employees to fill the immediate need to get business done. So what I thought I would do in this Design and Dialogue is just kind of remind everybody about some of the benefits of contract labor, talk about how to engage contract labor, and talk a little bit about when best to use contract labor. So let's start with the benefits. The first benefit is there is a fairly large short-term and long-term cost savings when using contract employees. You're not bringing them on as a full-time employee, so usually there is no tax burden when you hire these people, either on your own or through a firm like DBI. There is no long-term cost of benefits. There's no 401k matching, things of that nature. So the short-term benefit is a cost savings, but the return on that investment, because there is still an investment, is immediate and great. So this can be a great thing to use if you know that you've got a project or you need to close a gap until you find your long-term employee, things of that nature. It can be a great tool. So the benefit, first and foremost, is that there is a huge cost savings. The commitment is a little less as well. You don't have to vet as much. You don't have to interview as much these candidates because they're not becoming long-term employees. There is kind of a unspoken understanding that this is a short-term position. You're going to come in and do the work will be done, and then off they go. I think another benefit is that there is a lot more talent these days doing contract work than there ever has been before. We have talked a lot about people working from home and how do they come back to the office, and people kind of defining a career for themselves. And I'm seeing a lot of people at all levels, and I'm including COO and CEO in this kind of big spectrum of people that said, look, I'm going to work on my own. I'm going to work on my own accord. I want to stay at home. I want to see different projects. Whatever their reason is, a lot of these people are more interested and open to doing contract work. They like the diversity of projects. They like meeting new people. They like maybe the money, the freedom that allows for their time and their schedule. Whatever the reason, there is really, really strong talent entering the contract talent market right now. So keep that in mind. Let's talk a little bit about the what. A contract employee can really be anything that you need it to be. Contracts usually are 3 to 6 months. Sometimes they can go longer. You can build a contract employee around a project, and that project could be a hospital that's 3 years long. It doesn't matter kind of what you structure it. I think, though, that you need to understand that there are certain rules that you as an employer must follow when working with a contract employee. And really, there is a strong line between what is a contractor and an employee. And the more you treat them like an employee, i.e., direct their schedule rather than give them an idea of what the project is and targets, if you're directing their daily work. Let's say if you give them a computer or maybe other equipment from your firm, these things start to make this contract employee look like a full-time employee, and that can get you into a challenge legally. So be very careful, do your research in whatever state or city you're in on how contract and full-time are defined, and make sure you stay on the correct line of what a contract employee is. Lastly, let's talk about the how. There are two main ways to hire contract employees. One, you know somebody on your own, you set up a simple agreement, you pay them an hourly rate. The contractor is responsible for their own taxes, so you just establish a rate and off you go. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to work with a firm like DBI, or there's others out there that do very good jobs as well. And what this does is allows the firm like mine to go out and vet a little stronger the talent, get an idea of what their rate is going to be, and then my firm, DBI, hires these contractors as our full-time employees. So this employee, let's call her Sarah, that's going to do contract work with you, is my employee. She's getting a 401k, she's getting vacation, she's getting benefits and things of that nature as a full-time employee would at my firm, regardless of position. I am just sending her out to work for you for a rate. Now, the rate is increased. Of course it is. There needs to be a markup that will cover all my expenses. But the benefit to that is you get an employee that is a little more committed to what you're doing. There's not a worry about taking time off. Is this person saving for retirement? Are they getting benefits for medical, dental, health, things of that nature? You know that when this person shows up to do work for your firm, everything's covered. They've got a safety net behind them, which is maybe, sometimes, but maybe not the case when you hire Joe, who's a friend of a friend that's just kind of coming in and has no safety net. So while there is an expense to using a firm like mine or others, I would argue, and maybe I'm biased, that the candidate does come with a little more security and a little more vetting than maybe somebody that's a friend of a friend. So that's it. If you're thinking, or if you haven't been thinking about filling a gap that you need immediately as you look for long-term employees, I would strongly encourage you to think about contract and contract to hire employees. If this is a new concept to you, please give me a call. I can walk you through how it works. I can walk you through the benefits in greater detail. But I really, truly believe that this is a tool that our industry, architecture and interior design, does not use that much. And I want to change that because it is a great tool to use, especially in times like this when there's explosive growth and explosive need for talent, but the talent you need is more entrenched and hard to find. That's it for today, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed today's topic about contract labor. If you like it, hit the button below, subscribe. You'll get these every Wednesday. They come out every Wednesday on YouTube. Just little thoughts and tips and tricks and training about our industry for owners and for candidates as well. So anything that you can do to like and subscribe, I really appreciate. Okay, everybody, I will see you next Wednesday. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.